Hello and welcome to Pilgrim of Hope. This is episode 7. The next morning after Assisi, my journey led me to one of the most sacred places in southern Italy, San Giovanni Rotondo, the land of Padre Pio. But before that, the morning began at the Vatican museums. There's so much to see, but what stayed with me wasn't the art alone, it was the Sistine Chapel. Standing under Michelangelo's masterpiece, I was lost in wonder. The creation of Adam, the first Adam reaching toward the Creator, and then I thought of the second Adam, Christ. Michelangelo used the body to speak divine truth. Every muscle, every gesture, proclaiming the dignity of the human body as the image of God. That was my meditation there, the theology of the body painted on a ceiling. From the glory of the Vatican, I traveled by fast train to Foggia, 3.5 hours through the Italian countryside. I call my pilgrimage royal simplicity, simple in spirit but done with grace. I always choose the best class because holiness need not be shabby. From Foggia, a winding bus climbed the mountain roads up to San Giovanni Rotondo. As I boarded, I met an Indian priest heading there for ministry. I would call it a providence. He told me about the evening mass at 6 p.m. and by God's grace, we arrived just in time. The church was simple. No marble, no grandeur, but filled with prayer. I celebrated the Mass and fell in love with that little church. If I ever build a church one day, I think it will look like that. Not for its size, but for its silence. Later that night, I joined the Rosary at 8:45. The crypt of Padre Pio had already closed at 7, so I couldn't see it yet. But I sat beside a statue of Mary on her throne, holding the child Jesus. And for the entire Rosary, I couldn't take my eyes off her. There was something about her gaze, gentle, strong, motherly, that held me in peace. After the Rosary, I walked around the church looking for the place of veneration to be sure I could go early the next morning. Our room was only 500 meters away. The night was quiet, almost holy. Statues of Padre Pio were everywhere, on the streets, in courtyards, in corners, as if he was silently blessing the pilgrims resting there. At 6:45, I was already at the church door waiting. When the doors opened at 7, I was the first pilgrim to enter the crypt. For 15 minutes, it was just me and Padre Pio. No crowd, no noise, just silence and grace. I must confess, I had never felt a strong devotion to Padre Pio before. I respected him, of course, his obedience, his sufferings, but I never felt drawn to him personally. But that morning changed everything. Kneeling there before his incorrupt body, I whispered one prayer. Padre Pio, give me your humility, your obedience. He obeyed even when misunderstood by his superiors, even when silenced by the church. He obeyed because obedience was his way of loving God. That's what I asked for, the strength to obey even when I don't understand, the grace to be humble even when I want to explain myself. After that quiet encounter, I took the early bus back to Foggia. But my heart stayed a while longer in San Giovanni Rotondo with Padre Pio, the saint of obedience. Every saint teaches us something about following Christ. Padre Pio reminds us that obedience is love in its strongest form. When we surrender our will, grace fills the silence. This is Father Dyson on Pilgrim of Hope. Stay blessed, stay faithful, and keep walking.